happened to him is active pure.
On
Whatever happened to him is active pure.
unraveling the intricate web of lies that made up Chris Watts' secret life, offering clues as to why he murdered his pregnant wife Shanann and their 2 young daughters. Shanann's devastated parents, Sandra and Frank Prusek, speaking out for the first time since their daughter's murder.
I told the police to find his GPS because his GPS is going to tell them where my family is.
From the outside, the Watts family seems perfect. In social media videos, Chris plays the part of a loving husband and doting father to Bella, 4, and 3-year-old Celeste, also known as Cece.
My daddy is a hero.
I'm so excited. I'm driving with you. Hey guys, we're here from the boat today.
She was fun, full of life. She did so many things. She had her hand in everything.
Love you guys. Have a great day.
All right, guys. Well, welcome back to Watts the Obsession live stream and chat on a Tuesday evening. And I'm so glad you guys are here. Sorry, it took me a little while to get on. I really appreciate you guys being here and taking some time to be with us and participate in the chat. This is such an interesting topic. Oh, hey, thanks, Nancy. Yeah, I just made it today. Thank you very much. Well, it's so funny because, and certainly I'm not saying I am the one who kicked this all off. I am certainly not so full of myself as to think that, but right, a few weeks ago, right? In October around Halloween time, I did one, spooky Watts house live stream. And I told you guys to the next one, I was going to talk about my personal paranormal experience when working on the Watts case. And it's freaking scary AF. I did share that with you very recently. And it took me from October until about, maybe was it a month ago, guys, to finally do that live stream where I shared with you that experience. And we talked about some of the eerie things about the Watts house, the possibility of it being haunted, the EVPs, the coincidence that, guys, I think this is such a huge coincidence. And some of you said so as well. When Chris Watts is over at neighbor Nate's house and that American Horror Story, is that saying that right? Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Horror Story commercial comes on with the fetus. And I don't know if you guys have watched the entire commercial either on this channel or elsewhere. We'll watch it in a little bit all the way through. It's not very long, but the entire commercial has direct connections and parallels to this case and to what happened, to what Chris Watts just did. I mean, there's 2 skulls, just kind of lingering in this dark, thick, viscous substance. It looks very much like crude oil. I mean, guys, how creepy is that? I mean, when I watched that whole commercial, I was absolutely positively tripped out. And I told you before when we were talking about this topic, although I have had some paranormal experiences in my life and they are so for realza, sometimes I wish they weren't, but they are. But I'm not a huge believer in, I'm just not I think a lot of the things that, we attribute to ghosts or ghost stories are, just something different. I'm not a huge believer in the paranormal. A little bit, but not huge. This has all really started to change me. I'm going to be honest. I mean, I shared with you during the live stream that I did a month ago. It took me, at least 6 months to finally do, because things kept stopping me. I hesitated myself. I felt nervous to do it. I didn't want to do it. I didn't want to talk about it. Just like in the very beginning of this live stream when, my computer just randomly cut out. Guys, it only happens during Watts live streams. It's the weirdest thing. Anyone who's with this channel a lot can tell you that's what happens. It is so bizarre. I just cannot explain it. And it really freaks me out sometimes. Okay, but it was about a month ago or a few weeks ago when I finally told you that story about my paranormal experience, and we were, dealing with the eerie side of what happened in the Watts house, the possibility of demonic possession, or, I wasn't saying that word before, but I'm just going to say it now because I think it's possible. And then, less than 2 weeks later, all of a sudden we hear the former Watts family residence, 2825 Saratoga Trail, is up for sale. Oh my gosh. Well, the Millers had just moved in there about 2 years ago after the house had been on the market for 4 years, right? And actually, I found today when I was preparing for this live stream a post that Shanann Watts made on April 30th of 2013. And she said, house is ready. Can't wait. It's a picture of her and Chris. I'll show you this in a little bit. We're going to be moving in on Saturday. I was like, oh my God, that's so freaking crazy. That's April 30th. Today is April 30th, isn't it? It is. Yeah. So it'll be 11 years ago today. Wow. It's so weird. We found out that the Miller house was for sale and there's all kinds of speculation. Now, I do want to clarify something that I shared with you guys during the last live stream when we were talking about this. Because I told you that some people, it's a couple that knows the Millers as a couple, as adults, and they also have children who have things together. And I promise I won't say anything more about the children, of course. So we're going to leave that alone. They have activities, school, something like that together. Okay. And what they told me that I shared with you was that, it wasn't anything like, there definitely weren't financial troubles. They knew that was not the case. It wasn't any situation like somebody got a new job and they were going to be relocating. As far as they knew, the family was planning on staying in that area, particularly the kids, because one of their kids has a connection with one of the kids. And they felt pretty darn certain that family was in that area to stay, and definitely that the children were. They were making plans well into the future. Now, this person told me that they had moved out, but that was all that they really knew. They were like, listen, it's nothing like, they didn't go bankrupt. They're not foreclosing on the house. They're doing fine financially, believe us. They don't have any plans to take off and move to Japan or anything like that. The house all of a sudden was up for sale. We can tell you it's not those things, but we don't know why. So then, just the other day, Plunder, Paula is so amazing. Paula Mooney of Plunder is just amazing. She always has a scoop on everything. You guys know I just love her. She's fantastic. So she came to us letting us know that Mr. Miller had just this past Friday, April 26th, pled guilty to one of 3 charges. And I'll show you what those charges are in a minute. Heck, why don't I just bring them up on the screen? Okay. Which was harassment as a function, or as I don't know how they word something about domestic, a domestic matter. Do they call it domestic abuse? I just want to make sure I'm really clear in what I'm saying here. I don't have his actual plea or anything in front of me, so if I get the words a little incorrect, I do apologize for that. For the official information, definitely go check out Plunder. The video is linked in the description. Again, she is amazing. She's fabulous. Oh, she came out with this information during last week's live stream, right? So he pled guilty, and we'll go into that in a little bit. Okay. So I just briefly heard from the person that I had talked to saying, oh my gosh, I didn't know. I'm really taken aback. Didn't really say too much about it. And I didn't respond right away. And then they wrote and said, are you mad at me? I don't know why I would be mad at them. I kind of felt bad that, they told me something and I went and talked about my YouTube channel, even though they knew that was going to happen per our agreement, that I wouldn't disclose any details that was going to give them away and make them, just kind of look like jerks or whatever the case may be. These people were trying to, dispel negative rumors about the Miller family. That was their objective. That was their stated objective. And from the short conversation I had with them, it's not like I'm talking to them every day. From the little information I got from them, they were trying to save the Millers, from suffering any negative, talk, conjecture, rumors that might be, milling about, by letting us know, no, they didn't declare bankruptcy. It's not this, it's not that. And they had no idea that this incident happened. I'm calling it an incident because there is a specific arrest date and there are specific charges for that date. Now, of course, we know an incident usually doesn't stand alone as one incident. It was probably incidents leading up to this one incident that ended up and the date of the arrest. But they just truly had no idea about that. So, apparently, of course, it sounds like the Miller family is keeping things quiet, as you would imagine. It really is a personal matter. And I do want to say, yes, I am talking about this matter, even though I just said it was a personal matter. I want to emphasize that the topic here for this channel is about the house, it's about the property, it's about the crime, meaning Chris Watts' crime and the mystery surrounding it. And it is not about the Millers. And the official stance of this channel and the sentiments for myself is, I hope that they're able to heal. I wish them a lot of peace and, happiness in their future. I'm sure it's been a really difficult time for them. I even feel guilty, and I just want to say this. When we were reading the 12-point memorandum that Mrs. Miller put out there on social media, because she was upset that people were saying she dressed like Shanann and they're driving by the house. I'll take responsibility for it. People are up on panel with me, but I'm taking responsibility for it. We were kind of laughing, a little bit snarky, because that's just how it read to me. I'm sorry, it did. But now, knowing that she or her children or a child were victims of, any kind of abuse, I apologize for that. I feel bad about that. Had I known that, I would have done differently, but maybe that's why we should always, err on the side of kindness, which I usually do, but I just got a little carried away because it just came off as such a strange, yeah, little memorandum. Okay. So here are the charges here. So when I was watching Plunder, she had said at that time, she's probably figured it out by now, that she didn't know what the date of the arrest was. She didn't know what the specific charges were. I mean, it's a matter of looking it up. That was pretty easy. When I was trying to find out why the Millers were moving, I thought that I had scrubbed the public records, but apparently I didn't, because I did not come across what Paula did. But again, Paula's a goddess. So, who could expect that? But I really felt there weren't any public records out there, but I was wrong. So the charges, Mr. Miller was arrested on February 11th, 2024. And some of you may already know this. We're going to do some new stuff, I promise. At 6:53 p.m. in Frederick, Colorado. Presumably it is home. We don't know that, but I'm assuming it is. What do you guys think? So he was arrested for, well, it was three things. Child abuse in the form of negligence, obstruction of telephone or telegraph service. Now, I've got to say, this is a charge that is unique to Colorado. Ain't no other state in the damn union that has any charge like this anymore. And we can talk about what this charge is about. And also harassment. So let's actually take a look at exactly what these charges are. And again, guys, I want to say this is not to dig into the Miller's personal business, even though that is what we are doing. I know it does sound a little, a little hypocritical, but it really is about the house, about the Watts crime, and elements of that crime. All right. So let's see here. Just got to get my my little file straight here. Colorado. Okay. Let's see. Let me get down to, and then I'll share it with you. Let me just get down to the right spot. Oh. Okay. So there's a brief subsection. You know what? I like this other site's explanations better. So we're actually going to go to the second charge. No, we're going to do the charge of child abuse first. Okay, that is the first charge. All right, let me share this with you. Child abuse in the form of negligence. Oh, so sad. So sad. Gosh, I mean, you really have to wonder. You really have to wonder. what is happening in this house? Wait a minute, hold it. Let me back up. I'm going to go a little reverse order here. Before we get into reading these charges, I do want to read part of that 12-point bulletin that Mrs. Miller posted shortly after they had moved into the house, feeling a little disgruntled that people were being looky-loos, that people were saying she had dressed like Shanann. I can only imagine the negative attention that they were getting. But, I do also have to say at the same time, if you are moving into a home, if you're purchasing a home that you are well aware is an infamous home, it is unrealistic, certainly, to expect that that's going to stop when you move into the home, right? I'm not saying that I don't know who did what wrong. I don't really know the details of it. So let me start with bullet point number 6, because 7 is really the one that's critical here. But let's just get a little warmed up. So, but first, I want to give you something to look at, which is not this. Yeah, Neeks Peaks is the only place I can find it. Chris, I have to put her in the description too. Chris, during the last live stream, told me it was there because I could only find the first 6 rants. I couldn't find the final 6, the 6 or the 7 through 12, anywhere. Let's see. House, channel content, mine. Hold it. Let me just pull up the right video. House. Okay, so these are just going to be some images of the house as it is right now, and then as it was when the Watts family lived there, and then there's kind of some special pictures at the end that I will get back together with you and explain to you in just a little bit. Let's see, is one of you texting me? Oh. Yeah. Oh, gosh. Okay, thank you. Thank you, moderator. Thank you, McJay. So wait, let me just hop back here. Boop, 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 boop. Hold on, let me pull this in first. Okay. Then let me get back here. And then Zawoki, welcome. And Zawoki gifted 5 Watsi Obsession memberships. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that, Zawoki. And I'm sure the people that got them did too. And welcome. I hope you're doing well, my friend. I'm sorry I didn't see that. I've been just focusing on what I'm trying to spit out here. One of my moderators just texted me. So thank you so much. It's so very kind of you. I really appreciate that. If you got a membership from Zawoki, be sure to say thank you. All right. So I'm going to play this. And then I'm going to talk about the 12-point rant. But I'm not going to read all 12 of them. I'm just going to start with 6. Okay. There we go. Yes. Let me make sure everything's going right first. Okay. Yeah. Yes, we took pictures of our kids on the kitchen counter. Shanann had a similar one, which I did not know about. Just to be clear, y'all, Shanann had a lot of them. Stop looking into every little thing and trying to put a negative spin on it. It was just a cute picture. Totally get that, right? It's like you can't, she didn't do anything wrong there. Number 7. Now, guys, this is the one that's crazy, crazy, crazy. Just everybody take a breath, clear your mind, and get ready to absorb every word of this seriously. Number 7 on her memorandum. My husband is not Chris Watts and will never, ever hurt us. Do you even hear how illogical and silly it sounds to say that my husband will hurt us like Chris Watts did just because we are living in this house? To say there are evil spirits living here that will possess my husband like they did Chris Watts? That is sickening. What a vile thought. Wait till the next thing. There are no monsters here. Chris Watts made a decision as a human being. Hold him accountable instead of some imaginary monsters you can't even prove exist. You know who does exist? Chris Watts. And he is in prison where he belongs. Well, we all agree on that now, don't we? Blame that sorry bastard. That sorry excuse of a, she didn't say bastard. Blame that sorry excuse of a human garbage but she wanted to, for what he did, and stop assuming my husband will do the same thing because he is living in this house, a house made of drywall and carpet. You should be ashamed of yourselves for even thinking that, let alone having the audacity to type it out for the world to see. Please seek therapy immediately. Oh my, wow, right? And I believe her as far as the truth that she's implying, in this post. Um, I don't believe, what do I know? But I don't believe, this is just my belief. I don't believe that her husband was abusive prior to this. There are definitely no charges prior to this. The fact that she, wrote that, bullet point of her memorandum so vehemently and, and so passionately, I really do believe that he was not abusive prior to whatever incident or incidences have happened in that house. Um, I just want to read number 8. Rather than asking me anything, you are either asking other people questions or are going off internet rumors. Ask me. I am right here. If you are close to me, you have my number. If you're not close to me, you don't need to be asking other people those questions. Ooh, well, I did do that, but that's what I do regarding this case, at least. So, guys, I just think that is absolutely insane. I'm just going to go to chat for a minute because I'm so interested to see what you guys have to say about that, because I just think that is wow. And oh, Sherry, sweetheart, how are you doing, darling? Thank you so much for the super chat, Sherry. I hope you're doing well, sweetheart. Thank you very much for always supporting the channel, for supporting me, and for being a good friend. Thank you so much, Sherry. Sherry is a sweetheart. I sent you an email earlier too. I don't know if you saw it. I hadn't been on email for a few days until today. So let's go to chat here and see if anyone has anything to say. Great point. Desiree am I saying this right? Rolden says, isn't the Colorado airport, doesn't it have scary stories behind it too? It does. And I didn't even think about that. The Denver airport. I have flown in there a few times. I think I told you I went to Colorado a few consecutive years going skiing and snowboarding. And it's the only time I've flown into Denver airport. And my boyfriend at the time was, telling me all about them. And I didn't even believe it. Once I looked into it, I didn't believe him on a lot of things. That's why he's my ex-boyfriend. Once I looked into it, it was for the most part all true. I'm sure he got some things a little messed up, but it was true. Yeah, thank you for reminding me of that. Maybe we can talk about that too. That's a good one. Let's see. Sherry Sanders says, I couldn't live there, but everyone is different. I think before this news happened, I said during last live stream, I would never live in the Amityville horror house. Hell's a nosa way, never. But this house, I don't know. I would have to go there and kind of feel it out. But after this, I would not. My mind has changed. My heart has changed. Pieces are coming together and the picture is becoming clear. And maybe that is, this evil entity or whatever it is lifting, so we can finally have some clarity into what might be going on and what has gone on in that house. Because to this point, there has been no clarity. It's just been opaque and gross and awful, right? So maybe that's a good sign. I just want to see this next picture is the one from the 30th here. So these pictures here at the end of, this is the end, I'm sorry, of the little just picture show I made you guys. Are of, Shanann just building her house and her and Chris, breaking the ground, kind of up in the rafters when the house was just, being built. And okay, so here, whoopsie, let me go back. This is a post that was from April 30th, today, 11 years ago in 2013. Shanann said, today, 11 years ago, April 30th. That's so crazy. I just laid eyes on this today. I've seen it before, but I didn't notice the date. It's a done deal. House is ours. Move in Saturday. They must have been so excited. And the note from whatever site I got this off of, and I don't remember, says May 2013, their home was completed and they moved in. They immediately had several issues with the home. Now, that is another thing that happened with this house. I don't know, for those of you who have been following this case for a while, you might recall that as soon as they moved into the house, they had an absolute ton of issues. They were going to take legal action against the contractors. And there was a separate then probably real estate, company that sold them the house. They were considering taking legal actions against both of those entities because they had so many problems. And from what I understand, based on what they said and what other people kind of said to support the stories, There were real serious problems. So, like, wow, right? Let me go back to chat again. Let's see. I think I said this. Thou doth protest too much, my dear. I said that during the last live stream. Are you talking to me or somebody else? Or to Mrs. Miller? Let's see. What? Oh, thank you so much. Cornville three-way. Thanks for everything you do on this channel. Watch the Obsession. Such a great resource for this absolute monster. Thank you. I very much appreciate that. I'm glad that you can come here and you feel that way. Sandy says every room and space in that home has memories of those poor souls. Hard to look at it as much as live in it. Yeah. Hey, Aussie Jen, how are you doing? Let's see. Yeah, great statement here. Jesse Essex says it's also illogical to ask people to stop making comparisons. It's just human nature to make comparisons. We judge, and our survival depends on our ability to do so, in my opinion. Oh, girl, I say something like that all the time in defense of this channel existing. But thank you. I believe that. That was a really good statement. Happy says, I do believe in positive, negative energies and the impact on people around it. Absolutely. Edward Schwank says, hey, Edward, how you doing? Thanks for being here. This house is kind of like an Area 51 or the moon landing in the respect that conspiracy theories and interests will never end. It's included in the price, like it or not. Yeah, that's right. And in this, in Mrs. Miller's 12-point rant, so to speak, she said, we're never going to turn it into an Airbnb. We're never going to do that. We're never going to monetize on it, even though I'm sure, just by buying a property, when you sell it, the assumption is you're going to turn a profit. But, and Paula from Plunder was saying, what I very much have been thinking about it when I read this 12-point bulletin before and again recently, is that, maybe that is what is supposed to become of this house. Now, I don't think that the neighborhood association is going to let them do that. But if they did, maybe that's what needs to happen. As long as that house is standing, there's going to be this intense interest in it. And, there might even be these intense spirits in there or energies or whatever you want to call it. I do believe that there are right now. I absolutely believe that. And I cannot believe when I hear myself saying that I'm saying it. But I believe that wholeheartedly at this point. So somebody said, so he was beating her before they moved in as well. Where'd you get that from? I mean, and again, I don't want to, it's not to talk about them, it's to talk about the house. Gosh. Anaphylaxis says, every time I'd walk up to that front door, I'd remember Shanann walking in it for the last time. Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point. Pine Barren Patriot says Watts House will be the next Villisca, Iowa murder house if Frederick officials don't tear it down. That's very possible. And then let's see, Lunice. And there are buildings in downtown Denver that have scary stories. Colorado Springs, where Shining was filmed. Oh, that's right. That's right. I totally forgot that. Haunted houses just like around the world. But hey, let's say that Colorado let's see. And then add that NK was creeping around in it. Touche, Sandy. Seriously. Ugh. Oh my gosh, guys. On a slightly different note, I do want to tell you that I was digging through the Discovery Dirt recently, as I said, I think in the description, and I identified two things that were new to me, I'm going to say, but I haven't heard anyone else talking about them. Perhaps they have. I just haven't heard about it. That made what happened in the home, in the investigation, the part where, the initial stages of the investigation, even that more absolutely absurd. I don't want to layer on multiple topics now, but we'll either talk about that the live stream on Friday, or I'm going to make a video about it probably too. because, well, I've already started making a video. It's already like 40 minutes long. So I had a lot to say about that and a lot of information to include. And I just can't even believe it. I can't even believe it. Cannot believe it. The absolute negligence with which this investigation and persecution of the perpetrators of these horrific crimes was handled is horrible. It's absolutely horrible. I mean, something I'm just going to say that I've been doing ever since I've been interested in this case, which has been a long time. And then again, recently, like when I'm researching for the video I just told you about, that we might do a live stream on this coming Friday. If you were to, and I have talked to attorneys, as you know, I have the Watts the Obsession Legal Consultant team, and that is getting smaller, but that's okay. um, and that's just because one of them people was my dad and he passed away, not anything having to do bad with his channel. But any attorney would say that, first of all, the defense put forth the plea. The prosecutor usually, and it can go either way, but the prosecutor usually will offer a plea deal. And then the defense and the client will, huddle and they'll figure out what they want to do about that. In this case, the defense put the plea on the table and District Attorney Rourke accepted it without, without anything in return other than accepting the plea. Every single attorney who has commented on this, spoke about it, or that I've spoken to about this, said they would absolutely proffer that suspect and make them come clean on what happened during that crime. And then they would do an investigation to the extent to support or prove that the confession is legitimate or not. It's the most absurd thing in Colorado judicial history. I don't blowing smoke out my ass there, but it's really absurd that happened. I don't understand it. I have a few theories as to why that is, but when it comes down to it, I think that Rourke is a hot-headed, lazy bastard who is afraid of doing anything that's going to rub the public the wrong way. And as we know, the people that he consults when he's considering whether or not he should impose the death penalty are his underling, Stephen Wren, the financial guy in Weld County, and his wife. Are you serious? I digress with some heartburn. All right. So, yes, Denver, Colorado. Hey, Denver. We got Denver, Colorado right here. How awesome is that? Hey, Denver. It says there's underground bunkers at the airport. Yeah. Sis Fisher says, I think it's oxymoronic to come out with a statement to ask people to stop making statements and comparisons. They should have just stayed silent and ignored the whole thing if they want their privacy. That would have been the wise thing to do. Probably in retrospect, I hope she realizes that. Rebecca R. says, maybe Mrs. Miller has the thoughts in the back of her mind that the house has a dark entity and then said that. I was thinking that a little bit, almost like she was intuitively sensing that, like it was already it was touching her already. She was already vibing on that. And so she was kind of coming out and saying that almost proactively. Yeah. Yeah. I think that's possible. Thunder Chick says it must have been bad if they are selling the house and separating, especially if they hadn't done anything like that before they moved into that house. Yeah, well, they're selling their houses, their properties. They own two properties, two expensive properties, 12 miles away from each other. So, what the people that I spoke with said, the couple that I spoke with said, that it seems like the family is staying in that area and the children are going to be staying in that system and that they are kind of rooting there. That still could be the case because they did, after all, have two properties within 12 miles of one another. Which school district each of those properties fall in, I don't know. Probably the one 12 miles away is in a different school district, but maybe their kids don't go to a public school. I don't know. But, that still could be true. But again, they were really taken back by what happened. Like, I'm sure a ton of people are. You're obsessed. You're creepy. Obsessed, yes. Creepy, possibly. Okay. Oh, thank you very much, Joanne. Daniels, love listening to your theories. You rock. Thank you. obsessed and creepy, and I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. Um, Barb, they could be denying possession due to reselling issues, right? That's very true. So when we're talking about, there's like 3 levels, right? There's demonic possession, obsession, and attachment. Attachment being, I guess they say is like kind of the lowest level. Like you just have a spirit that's kind of like, sitting on your shoulder, sort of attached to you. Maybe I think of it by a string, kind of following you around. And then there's demonic obsession, which means that that entity is becoming increasingly more, what'd you just say about me? Obsessed and creepy, like me, with a person with a soul, and they hang around more and they're a little more integrated into what's happening in their lives. And then there's demonic possession, which is like a full blown takeover requiring, generally speaking, an anecdote might be like an exorcism or, whatever your belief might be. Um, Co says, "You're obsessed. We are obsessed. You're not creepy. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Appreciate you guys. You guys are awesome." So let's take a look just real quick at those charges. And I think there's something interesting to be seen when you kind of break them down here. So, under the Colorado statute, a person who commits child abuse when he or she, quote, causes an injury to a child, life or health, or permits a child to be unreasonably placed in a situation that poses a threat of injury to the child's life or health, or engages in a continued pattern of conduct that results in malnourishment, lack of proper medical care, cruel punishment, mistreatment, or accumulation of injuries that ultimately results in the death of a child or serious bodily injury to the child. So sad. Child abuse, never ever okay, obviously. If not too serious, oh my God. Oh, if not too serious injury results. Oops, I just jumped, or it jumped. Let me see if there's a specific one that's, hold it, for neglect, because that's what we're looking at here. Can't remember. Sorry, guys. Now, in Colorado, for all these different charges, they have like an escalator, like an addition to the charge that is that it is as an act of domestic violence. So that's kind of interesting. Here we go. This is what we want to look at. I'm sorry. Negligent abuse of a child. So this is what he was charged with specifically. You act with criminal negligence when, through gross deviation from the standard of care that a reasonable person would exercise, you fail to perceive a substantial and unjustifiable risk that a result will occur or that a circumstance exists. Whew, that's vague. Let me read it again. You act with criminal negligence when, through a gross deviation from the standard of care that a reasonable person would exercise, reasonable person standard, you fail to perceive or to notice. And well, this doesn't say anything about action, though. A substantial and unjustifiable risk that will occur or that a circumstance exists. Now, is this? Talking about intent. Sorry, just one second, guys. I'm just like skimming here. So sad. Okay, I thought I found something more specific, but apparently I did not, unless I'm sharing the wrong thing. But that's all right. We're going to a different charge. So the one that he, let's go to the one that he pled to. Just give me a moment because I want to get this up on a different site that I had already read. There was a good definition. Oops. Okay. All right. So here, let me flip screens. Here we go. So this is the charge to which he pled guilty. Sorry if you hear some thumping going on. That's bunnies, bunnies. Okay. In Colorado, harassment can be charged as a crime under statute if you intentionally bother, annoy, alarm someone through repeated contact, obscene gestures, hitting, taunting, or following in public. Oh, gosh, I know some former YouTuber who's guilty of that all the time in all kinds of places. Interesting. A conviction may be a petty offense or a misdemeanor. Harassing a person because of his or her race. This is, I'm sure, not the case. Examples of criminal harassment are spitting on someone, calling a person repeatedly and then hanging up, following someone closely for several blocks, sending threatening text messages, repeatedly insulting someone to egg on that person to fight. Let's see. Under the Colorado law harassment statute, the crime has two elements, two requirements. The first is that the defendant intends to harass, annoy, or harm another person. So, if somebody's just like sitting next to you and they're just being them and it annoys the crap out of you, but they're not meaning to annoy you, that's on you. The second element is that the defendant takes one of the following 7 actions. So the defendant must take one of these 7 actions. Person being charged. Strikes, shoves, kicks, or subjects the victim to physical contact. Makes an obscene gesture or remark to the victim in public. 3, follows the victim in a public place. 4, calls the victim repeatedly and there is no purpose of legitimate conversation. 5, initiates communication repeatedly at inconvenient hours that invade the victim's privacy. This can be in person or over the phone, a computer network, a computer system, electronic mail, or any electronic communication. Number 6, repeatedly taunting a victim in a way likely to provoke an unlawful response. Fighting words. 7, make obscene or threatening comments over the phone or internet, which is known as cyberbullying, of course. And then they give an example. And then telephone harassment, that's the other charge. That's a weird Colorado charge. Now, the second little paragraph here says, also see our criminal law article on domestic violence harassment. So this is what he pled guilty to. This is harassment between past or present spouses, lovers, or co-partners. So, okay, so why is this important? This is what I'm getting to here. So, it's been said by people who are talking about this case and wondering what exactly may have happened. If the charges pertained to Mr. Miller and the victim being the 3 kids, one of the 3 kids, 2 of the 3 kids, the wife, or all of them. So this charge addition, I just lost it. I guess it doesn't really matter. This charge addition saying that harassment is a domestic violence act under Colorado law that must pertain to a current or former spouse or romantic partner. So that's telling us, I do believe, and you tell me if you think I'm wrong, but I don't think this is like advanced legal concepts here. I think that's telling us that the charge that he did plead to had to do with his wife and not the children. So the charges of child abuse, negligence were dropped. So of the charges that, he was arrested he was arrested on those 3 charges, child abuse, negligence dropped. That telephone one, I think is just sort of an antiquated law. It's kind of weird. It sort of goes along probably with the kind of harassment he was doing, I'm assuming. And the charge that stood that he pled guilty to was harassment as a domestic violent act which must be in relationship to a spouse or partner or ex-spouse or ex-partner. Does that make sense, guys? So by just looking into that, looking into those definitions and kind of working within the law there, we can figure out a little more about what happened than we understood initially. Anaphylaxis, this is something I was thinking about too. In both cases, it is a very expensive home. And both couples were very young when they moved into the home. Mrs. Miller said in her 12 points that she was 32 at the time, right? So when they moved in there, she was 31. The husband's like 2 years older than her, I think. The Watts were even younger than that. We're talking about like thousands of dollar a month mortgage. Anaphylaxis wonders, I wonder if the stress of paying for the home factored into things. Certainly, they say that financial stress is one of the leading causes of stress and arguing and even abuse in romantic relationships, domestic relationships. I don't know how they earn their money. I didn't look into that, but it would make sense, right? City Slickers Chicken says, have you heard of the house being built on an old burial ground? Could be another reason the basement is so saturated with what Chris called evil. Yeah, that's a good call. Speaking of, let's move on to a couple other things. Then we're going to watch a little bit of, I have a little treat for you at the end here, but I want to just cover our bases and let's see. Did I flip off my video? I wanted to. I did, but just give me a second. I'll find it real quick. Hope everyone's having a really good night. Thank you guys for being here. Please do me a favor and click like. That'll get more people notifications of the video after the live stream, and I really appreciate it. I'm very glad you guys are here. Please comment. I want to know what you guys think. You know what? I'm going to put the link to panel in chat. I'm not going to be on for too terribly long tonight because I have to work in the morning. But if anybody would like to come up on panel and express your view verbally rather than typing it, you're please welcome to. Don't be scared. Parawoman Radio, would you like to come up? Yeah, did I just call your? Yeah, I think I said. Oh my gosh, it's been a long day. Link to panel. There you go. Come on up if you would likey to panel. Let's see. Colleen Casey's been a member for 4 months. Aw. It's a proud sub, much longer. Watts the Obsession was second ever subbed in 2021. Oh, I'm honored, Colleen. Awesome. Thank you so much. Yeah, I know you've been around for a while. It's awesome. And then MK, how are you doing, my friend? MKV, your empathy radiates and comes from a loving place. Oh, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. That's one of the best compliments I could get. Thank you so much. I really, really do very much appreciate that. It's very kind of you to say thank you. You guys are great. Let me just pull up the live stream in YouTube so I can pin it. There's so many steps that you have to take like behind the scenes. I'm not complaining. It's not a big deal. It's like, running a live stream. It's not rocket science, but it does get a little pain in the buddy. Lisa says, Shanann got a lot of money. I can't pin it because I'm over. Hold it. Let me get my ducks in a row here. Maybe not. Maybe I won't get them in a row. That's just going to have to be. Hi, Valerie. How are you doing? Hey, Kurt Stacy. Holy cow. Kurt Stacy, you're kidding me. So nice to see you, my friend. Wonderful. What a treat, everybody. Kurt Stacy's in his house. Kurt Stacy, you want to come up on panel, don't you? I know you do. Come on up. Come on up. I miss you, my friend. How are the horsies? How are the kids? I can't find my comment, so I can't pin it. But I put the link to panel in chat. Here it is again. If you would like to come up, you're welcome to. Scaredy cats. I don't want to harass you guys, but I'm just kidding. Who had said that? Let's see. Oh, thank you so much. You guys are so kind. Thank you. Oh, thank you so much. That's great. Oh, well, I'm so glad that you're here. Yeah, Rebecca R says this is why we need to read the laws of the state. Exactly, because everybody had been wondering, oh, we don't know anything more about what really happened, but we do. You just have to read the word of the law. And if you don't know, I am a law school dropout. Well, I left a year and a half into law school with a full scholarship. I didn't drop out. Don't know if I could have made it through. Don't know if I could pass the bar, but now after my father passed away and he left his law practice that was active, I kicked myself in the butt for not finishing it because that's been hard, but we're doing it. So anyway, Lisa says Shanann got lots of money from her first employer, cash, y'all, cash, dollar bill, y'all, and bought that mansion by herself. The suitcase full of cash, according to her brother. Then Chris came in the picture, and I'm sure all that money stopped when Chris came in the picture. So what do you mean by that? So I do know that Shanann's father said that she did sell the house for not a profit, did not make a profit off that house. He said her intention was to buy the house, flip it for a profit so she could eventually live mortgage free. Did not happen. And I do also know that the people that bought the house from Shanann, they say Shanann and Chris, but really it was just Shanann, right? That the house came with like all the furniture, most of the furniture. They didn't even take the furniture, which is kind of interesting. We know that they got engaged, they got married, they quickly moved out to Colorado. I recently talked about when I was just looking at the timeline of that, I had no idea. It was fast as they were building their house, and that is in Chris's name. The mortgage was in Chris's name. Shanann was not on the mortgage, not on the deed. So that was on his credit. We know his mother says that he was always a very good saver. His friends have said that he was able to save his money, that he was a good, he was a good, he could earn a good income. He was good. I don't know. So, it seems like for whatever reason, they left North Carolina fast. They lived with the Dietzes in their basement for a year. We know they became close with them. Shanann had been a nanny for Jenna Dietz. The Dietzes moved out to Colorado. Shanann went out there to visit Colorado, loved Colorado, went and lived with the Dietz family for a year in their basement. And we know that they were very close because Jenna Dietz was Shanann Watts' maid of honor, but they had a falling out. And shortly after the wedding, no longer spoke. Just a little FYI went a little tangent there, but for any of you who don't know about all that. Oh, guilty of crime. Awesome. Welcome. I'm so glad you're here. That's wonderful. Thank you so much. Okay. Sorry, I'm just trying to find the right. Okay, there it is. The right video. Now I got to cue back up to the right spot. I'm trying to do with my long mouth. The skanky empanada. Oh, I know it's empanada, but for Veronica, if you're here, empanada. All right. Okay. Okay. Let me just bring this into the stream. Let's hear what Chris Watts has to say.
And then the last time I was strange, I felt totally strange. I was like, I didn't know who I was. I didn't know who I had become. I felt like I become people I see on TV, and that did not feel right with me. Like I didn't know what had happened to me. So
I personally think that Chris Watts has always felt that way. I don't think this feeling he's describing is anything new for him. My personal profile of his personality says that the way he described his existence at that contemporary time is probably how he has always felt. But anyway, I digress.
This before you go straight away. I'm like, I've never even thought about it. It's like, what's different? It's like, I guess it's just you that's different because I just never actually like I've seen girls smile at me before. Never done anything about it, but her it was just like she had a leash on me and she tugged me away. And as soon as she walked, I'm like, the heck hell is going on? So,
well, and Tammy brings up a very good point. I wonder if that last time with Shanann having sex had a somewhat of a role in you thinking,
like a trigger.
I got to do something. I got to say something. We got to have a talk. Something's got to change.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, I felt like it was like maybe like a trigger point or something like you hit the push button on a bomb and it just blows up.
Right.
Something in my head was just like something, just something was irking. Just like I had to say something.
Next, we hear one of the many times throughout the entire 4+ hour interview from Dodge Correctional Facility where Chris Watts uses language or speaks directly about a feeling of being out of control, overpowered, as though he wasn't in charge of his own faculties and movements. It's very strange. I think a number of things could explain this, and we have talked about them on this channel. We can talk about them again, and maybe we've talked about them not on this channel, and I'd love to hear what you think about that. He also talks about regret for not going to the football game with his friend and going to the Lazy Dog with Nicole Kessinger on Saturday, August 11th instead.
Like at the end of the conversation, it was just like, that's what happened. I just wish I could have let go.
Did it seem like it was that long? 2 to 4 minutes? How long did it seem for you?
It almost kind of felt like it was longer almost, because it felt like time was standing still. It's kind of like I just saw my life just disappearing before my eyes, but I just like I couldn't let go. It was like somebody else, like if you picture somebody else around you, holding your hands, holding you, keep you from not letting go.
All right. Now, this particular statement, in the company of a few other statements he makes, but this is the main one that I kind of built my thoughts around here. I look at it 3 ways. And I've given this so much thought just with my, all the stuff that I do in my, professional life, analyzing these kind of things, and just people's thinking and psyche and crazy brains. Guys, guess what? I've got news for you. If you don't know already, we are all motherfucking crazy. But that's okay. That's okay. That's okay. We're in it together. Don't worry. But just listen to this little statement here. I'm going to tell you the 3 ways I look at it. And I want you guys to tell me what you think. Please, please, please. I need your opinion.
At the end of the conversation, it was just like, that's what happened. I just wish I could have let go.
Did it seem like it was that long? 2 to 4 minutes? How long did it seem for you?
It almost kind of felt like it was longer almost, because it felt like time was standing still. It's kind of like I just saw my life just disappearing before my eyes, but I just like I couldn't let go. It was like somebody else, like if you picture somebody else around you, holding your hands, holding you, keep you from not letting go.
All right. My thoughts on that. Either number one, very basic and simple. And I think this does align with Chris Watts' personality, but I don't think this is it, but it is a possibility. When he says things like that, because he says things like that, kind of absolving himself of the guilt of the action as though it was something or someone else that was causing him to do it. It's just because he is, he's just like a cowardly, shady bitch and doesn't want to take responsibility for anything he does ever. And I do think that is kind of who he is, but I don't think he would normally talk about himself or what he's done, even the horrible things he's done in that way, because of his underlying ego. I don't want to go too far into my personality profile of him, but all right, that's number one. Numero uno. Number 2, it's like, I just couldn't let go. I couldn't let go. And he talks about this again in different contexts. It's like somebody had their arms, wrapped around you, holding your hands, around her neck to be specific. And I literally couldn't let go. So then is he talking about Nicole Kessinger or someone else, or the mistress, the skanky empanada, formerly known as Nicole Kessinger? Either, I guess there's 4 possibilities. Physically being there and forcing him to do it. I don't think it's that. Or whether physically there or not, figuratively forcing him to do it. And I do think she did that. I think she psychologically abused the crap out of him. And we're not saying poor Chris Watts, but she is a master freaking manipulator of the scummiest kind ever. So I do think he probably felt that pressure, or is what he's describing something supernatural. It's like, this happened and I didn't even know what was going on. I was so disoriented. I didn't mean to do this. I was just seeing my life, slip away. This is not what I wanted to be doing. It's like there was something, there was somebody, their arms wrapped around me and was holding my hands around her neck. Could he be describing some supernatural force that we don't fully understand? What do you guys think about that? And I guess I'm just going to be reading your messages since nobody wants to come up on panel. Scared cats. No, it's okay. It's fine. Oh, Rosie, thank you so much for the super chat. She says, thank you, Kelly, for all your hard work. Love you. Oh, thank you so much. Love you back, girl. Thank you very much. I really appreciate that. Thank you for supporting me in the channel and being here in chat tonight. Kurt Stacy, yes, is officially behind stage. Hi, Kurt. How are you doing, my friend? Oh, can you hear me? Kurt,
Yeah.
speak. Oh, good. Awesome. How are you doing?
Hold on a second. Let me get this thing correct here.
Okay, cool. Kurt and this channel go way back, guys. He used to be a regular in live streams, and he is a crowd favorite.
Hold on.
Okay, no worries. I'm reading through chat here. I want to see if anybody answered that. So I want to know what you think about that statement. Let me just play it one more time. Just what, like, and again, this is just one example when he says stuff like this. What is he? What
Saturday, August 11th. Instant.
What is he really saying here, guys?
Did it seem like it was that long? 2 to 4 minutes? How long did it seem for you?
Almost kind of felt like it was longer almost because it felt like time was standing still. It's kind of like I just saw my life just disappearing before my eyes, but it just like I couldn't let it go. It was like somebody else, like if you picture somebody else around you, holding your hands, holding you, keep you from not letting you go.
Graham Coder goes, wait, let me see what, or did Kurt see that? Okay. And
I did.
Okay, you did. I mistook you for Graham Coder. Maybe you are a special agent after all, Agent Stacey. Now, one reason I kind of believe what he's saying is sincere there is because I do certainly hear an element of genuine emotion as he's saying that. And this is a big tell for Chris Watts. He is generally a lying person. I don't think sometimes he's just like in outer space, but we've talked about this before. We'll talk about it again. The tell for him is if he shows any kind of emotion, you better believe it's true because he doesn't show emotion. So when you hear that emotion in his voice, there is something to it. What do you think about that, Kurt Stacy?
I think that there's some emotion to it, but I wonder if it's like a delusional emotion because he is in prison and he knows that he messed up with what he was doing.
Yeah.
It just seems that you hear all the time about these people that get caught in these passionate murders. Yeah. And whatever happened during that time, I mean, no one knows for sure, but I think that the evil or the wave of passion, whatever that overcame him during that moment, is something that he'll never live down. Mm-hmm. I think that it was probably driven by evil. I don't know if the house itself had anything to do with that. I think it might have been something that was more brought on by circumstances. Mm-hmm. But I think it's pretty interesting. Like I said, when in the messages that I sent on here. And by the way, Kelly, hello. I'm sorry. I know it's been a while since I've seen you.
Yeah, I know. It's great to see you, sweetie.
Wait a minute. Get me out of this dark. This is horrible. Hold on a second. I'm sorry.
Kurt sets the stage. Don't worry.
I think it was better when I was sitting over here. Anyway, so I wasn't like in the dark. The
Chris, you're so funny. Hi, Chris, by the way.
there's a lot of factors that go into this. A lot of different
Just a minute.
things, but I find it kind of interesting. Like I just came on here just a few minutes ago, and I was watching. I saw the title of the story here, and I thought, wow, that looks really cool. Because I mean, I know those people, the Millers, right? In that
Yeah.
that they have moved out already, and it makes me wonder.
Well, wait, do you know why?
I'm not sure.
Okay, well, this is what this is all about. So, Mr. Miller pled guilty to. Okay, so this is what I just had up on screen, my darling. So he was on and we just all found this out because the court date was on Friday. Plunder found it. She was able to watch the actual court proceeding. So Mr. Miller on February 11th was arrested for child abuse, negligence, obstruction, the stupid charge. It's a Colorado charge. I'm not going to read it. And then harassment. The child abuse negligence was dropped, but on this past Friday, he pled guilty to harassment and with the, addition of being a domestic act. So so all of a sudden he is, apparently, harassing and abusing his family members when apparently this wasn't the case before. And in fact, I read this, bullet point from Mrs. Miller when they first moved in there and people were, being looky-loos around the neighborhood and they were saying that she looked and dressed like Shanann and stuff. She wrote this 12-point scathing bulletin that she posted on social media. And one of them that I had just read was, heck, am I going to read it again? Maybe should I? Yeah, I have to read it. I'm going to read it again just for if anyone didn't catch it or if you did, it'll be really quick. She's just saying, well, she basically is saying, we can do it like this. She basically is saying, how dare you? What a vile bunch of, wait, I'm going to have to read it. I don't want to put words in her mouth. That's not fair. Okay, hold it. So the reason that, it's kind of so compelling is because all of a sudden now he is, is it some like entity that's like a child or like wife hater? Like it is, I think it is a little bit strange because they had every intention of being there like forever, ever, and like making it this wonderful home. And yes, of course, these kind of things do happen, but so this is number 7 of her 12-point scathing, response to people who were whatever. She didn't like that they were giving her attention or whatever on social media and whatnot, or maybe in real life too. I don't know. I don't know the exact facts.
Well, I remember.
Wait, hold on. Let me just read this to you really quick.
Okay.
Number 7, my husband is not Chris Watts and will never, ever hurt us. Do you even hear how illogical and silly it sounds to say that my husband will hurt us like Chris Watts did just because we are living in this house? To say that there are evil spirits living here that will possess my husband like they did Chris Watts, that is sickening. What a vile thought. There are no monsters here. Chris Watts made a decision as a human being. Hold him accountable instead of some imaginary monsters you can't even prove exist. You know who does exist? Chris Watts, and he is in prison where he belongs. Blame that sorry excuse of a human garbage for what he did, and stop assuming my husband will do this same thing because he is living in this house, a house made of drywall and carpet. You should be ashamed of yourself for even thinking that, let alone having the audacity to type it out for the world to see. Please seek therapy. It is kind of weird, right?
Yeah.
So that's kind of like.
And I remember when they first moved in there and they posted on social media pictures of them being in there and how happy everybody looked and all that. Wow. That's kind of crazy.
So that's like kind of the crazy, that's sort of the crazy twist here,
Yes. And it makes you wonder. I mean, it's not how many years? It's not even been a year and a half?
About 2 years. They moved, I think, November. Yeah, exactly. Yep.
Yeah.
November of 22. That's right. Yep. So they put it on the market for $775. They've since dropped it to $750. They purchased the house for $600,000 just that short
Right.
time ago. I do, and I had never thought this until recently. It's been something that I've been discussing recently for a number of reasons, including things that I've experienced myself of the paranormal nature related to like getting deep into this case, like really freaking crazy stuff. Like I just said before, I can't believe when I hear myself saying this, it's so unlike me. I truly do believe that there is some evil entity in and around that house. I truly believe it.
Well, I mean, seriously, to make somebody that goes from like a loving father of a family of 2, almost 3, into, I mean, it reminds me of the Amityville Horror.
Yeah. Oh my gosh! The last live stream last Friday, I played like a huge we for like an hour. We were like looking at the Amityville Horror because it very much parallels that, and I thought it did. So yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah. That's what it reminds me of. Sorry, I haven't been around for a while. I've been going through my own battle here for the last year, but I've overcome it, and it's really good.
You look good.
Thank you.
Email me sometime. Let's talk if you want to. Yeah,
I will.
We're friends. I want to be there for you.
Oh, I love you.
Yes.
No, that's what it sounds like. I do believe that certain areas, and I think it probably goes back to Native American burial grounds, things like that. If not Native American or some kind of burial grounds where things are disturbed. And who knows what the family was involved with spiritually. I mean, Shanann got on her Facebook live all the time, but you never know what was going on in the background. I mean, did they like play around with Ouija boards, or I mean, you never know. I mean,
never a Ouija board in my house. Oh no.
No, I played with one of those one time, and I was told as a very young boy that get that thing out of there and throw it away.
Yeah, I won't even stay at a house that I know has one in it. I guess I do believe in that. But let me tell you really quick, because you said that. So I live in New York, and there's a place in New York, a really lovely place. I used to go there every summer, Saratoga, New York. And there's also Saratoga Springs, famous for my dad and his business partner used to have race horses, not like the super fancy thoroughbreds, just fun race horses or whatever. They have like they do horse races up there. They have like a really really great performing arts center. They have all kinds of concerts and really awesome stuff. Or it's amazing. It's a beautiful place. So Saratoga, I do know, like the street I live on, and I almost just said the name of my street. God forbid, Kelly, don't ever do that. It is an Indian name. Okay. There's a lot of Indian names up here because this was Indian territory. So I do know that Saratoga is an Indian name coming from an Indian word, and I haven't looked it up yet, but let's look it up right now. It says Saratoga is a corruption of a Mohawk word. Okay, a corruption of an Indian word. It was a name of Indian hunting grounds located along both sides of the Hudson River. That sounds right. According to the town's history, it means the hillside country of the quiet river. So I guess that's what it means. But it is an Indian name. Interesting, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, and I know, and out in Colorado, I mean, think about it. How many tribes were out there with all the Western Plains areas?
Western expansion, our Western. Well, the white man's Western expansion, pulling the Native American tribes further over to the west.
Right,
bunch of bastards we were.
Yeah, and I can say that because I am part Native American. I mean, I don't look like it because I'm,
No, I'm not saying they were bastards. I'm saying white men were bastards.
Right. But, well, I am Irish.
No offense, anyone.
Scots Irish, but then the other half of me is Native American. So, I mean,
gotcha.
Imagine that combination. Anyway,
I'm Ukrainian through and through.
Yeah. So, anyway, the you never know when you're digging up land out there and whatever went on and what kind of burial grounds there are. Who knows? And the same thing that they talked about when it came to the Amityville Horror, where that house was situated, and then out there. I mean, are you disturbing sacred burial grounds? Are you having things go on? Now, I'm a Christian, and I do believe in evil, and I do believe in Satan, and I wonder, if there's something to that where Satan would take advantage of that kind of thing where you disturb a sacred burial ground and bring in whatever. I mean, most of us probably know the story of the Amityville Horror and what happened there.
Yeah.
It's just,
And if not, please watch last week's live stream. You'll learn all
I
about
will,
it.
I will. I need to see that. But I tell you what, it's so strange that somebody can go from, I mean, every household, no matter what the stressors are, you've got 2 kids and a wife. You're
3.
working your butt off, right? Well, I know.
Well, the Millers. Okay, yeah.
No, well, I'm talking about first,
Gotcha. Yeah.
Chris and Shanann, and you're working your butt off to support this huge house that you've got in a really nice neighborhood, and you've got a woman that's involved in a multi-level marketing program, and maybe it sounds like she's pretty successful.
We know better.
I know.
Sorry.
I'm trying to be.
Okay, that's not the topic. Okay, moving on.
I know. Hold on. I know. I'm just. This is just going somewhere else. Okay.
Yes.
So anyway, but really not. And there's a lot of money that you have to pay for products and things like that. And then you got all these stressors, and that in itself, if you really love your family, it's not going to make you want to kill your family.
Right.
And then,
sounds like kind of an unpleasant existence, but it is certainly no reason to want to kill your freaking family. My God, you've figured out a way to work through it.
Right, exactly. And they did before with bankruptcy, whatever. We've all discussed that. We talked, and then all the other things that came into play. The unexpected new baby and your mistress, all this other stuff.
Your
But
crazy
I
ass
probably
mistress.
shouldn't be laughing about it. It's not really funny. But then to have all of that, and then there's got to be, and it seemed like everyone that has ever discussed it doesn't sound like a husband would just go off the deep end like that unless there were other influences. Now, take in the new family that has moved into the house. And they're not even there, a year, and you said it.
And they're both very young when they move in there, and it's quite the expense.
Right. Yeah. And already it's on the market, and there's not tails. There's records of abuse, and I mean,
well, records of abuse being just recently.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Okay,
but it's just makes you wonder: is it just the fact that you're trying to take on something that you can't handle financially, or is there some other negative energy there that is, that incorporates itself into your everyday living there that turns it into how can I say it? A
vortex of evil.
Yes, there you go. That's good. Yeah.
Well, hey, listen, I have had, debt and financial stress of my own. I'm a single mother, and, I've got things relative, life is hard, right? But, I had to work my way out of a lot of shit. And you know what else? I got 26 bunnies, and it never caused me to beat one single bunny.
Right.
I'm not a bunny beater. No, I'm just saying, like, it's just, yes, stress can cause people to, act in ways that they shouldn't. And ways that are bad and stuff. But this to me feels like something different. I don't know. And that's also combined with my own personal experiences with this case, and a lot of background.
Right, and I know when they moved in there, they were very positive. They said we want to like just bring positivity to the neighborhood, and we want to show the neighborhood that there can be a loving family here, and try to forget about the negativity that went on here. But that lasted how long, right? I mean, it's just they probably should have demolished that house after that and maybe left it a vacant lot.
But the thing is, the house. So they paid. What did they pay? Almost. What did they pay for? Almost like high threes, 400 for it. The Watts, I think.
Back in the day, yes.
Yeah, and so so it is. It is. It's a property that has at least $500,000 price tag on it. So that starts to get a little complicated because there's banks and there's lenders and there's liens and there's the family that owns it. And there's that does start to get complicated. It's a little different than like with say Idaho, the person that owned that was that was just so gruesome and disgusting, and he apparently had a lot of properties and was a little shifty. Anyway, he gives the property to the university has like money coming out the butthole, they raise it fine. This is a little different.
Yeah and then we all know about I know you did another live stream about the hauntings of the house and what people have recorded when they've been there and the images in the windows and all that kind of stuff. And you can't deny that. I mean, it's there.
Well, I'm so glad you said that because we are actually going to check out a little bit of from the channel Mexi. Everybody, if you aren't familiar with Mexi is freaking amazing. He is I don't know. He delves into everything paranormal. And this, I've always said this about Mexi, even before all of this happened with the Watts house. And I was less of a believer than I am now, much less of a believer. I always put my faith in Mexi, and I just think he is straight up and amazing. So he went to the Watts house. He also went out to Survey 319, and some pretty crazy stuff happened. But let's hear some of what happened when he went out to the Watts residence. And let me just get a time frame for you. This was in. And everybody, again, please go subscribe to Mexi. The link for his channel and this video is in the description box along with Plunder's video. And I'll add Neek's Peaks too. So this was, it doesn't even have a date on it. Doesn't matter. It was sometime after the tragedy happened. So here we go. Oh, and while he was there, like a cop came up to him and he couldn't find his ID. It was really weird. But anyway. Session that we're gonna do. Okay. He's got a spirit box, obviously. I'm not sure if I'm picking up in the right spot. Let's see. Those lights are going on. All right. Oh, was this a... Wait, let's see. All right.
Who's here? Who's here?
Sounds like a freaking demon. Could somebody put Mexi in chat so people know how to spell his name? Well, it's in the description too, but it's MKCEE. Okay, so he's there on January 16th of 2020. So he's going right up to the fence here of the house, the back fence. he's doing. And again, we're watching Mexi visiting the Watts house in 2020. Highly recommended channel. Chris, you are so funny. Gosh, that manifesto did not age well. Jesus Christ. Hi, Nilda. Hey, Double R. Yeah, it is a surprise, right? I'm going to go forward just a little bit because there is like some really good stuff in here. Bye.
Okay, I'll give you one last chance on this. Shanann with. There it is. Knew it.
His equipment is like for real. I've got it. If you guys aren't familiar with Mexi, you've just got to watch a couple of his videos. Maybe I'll try to explain. I'd love to have him on sometime too, so he can explain what he does. I don't know if it looks like a little bogusy, but like I said,
All right.
I put my faith in him.
Who's here? Here. Someone just said here. What spirit is currently here? Can you tell us your name? I see that you're making this device go off. Can you tell us your name, spirit? No. You do not have authority to touch me or attach to me. I plead the blood of Jesus Christ over me. I am a child of God. You can, however, speak through this device so that we know that you're here. So freaking cold. Yeah, was there anything that Shanann wished to say before she passed from this night? Was there anything she wished to say? Was there anything she wished to say to her mother before she passed? We need help. Was there something that your mother could help Shanann with? Yes? What? What could she help Shanann with? I'm afraid something's wrong. We know that Shanann, Bella, and Cece, and Nico are all with Jesus right now. Can Shanann see her family? Yes, it just is. Home. What would she like to say? What did Shanann want to say to her mother before she passed? What about her father? Did she have it? Did Shanann have something to say to her father before she passed? Dad, what? They killed me? Dad, they killed me. Your dad knows. Shanann's father knows that you were killed. Was there something else that you wished to tell him before you passed? Before Shanann passed? Yes. Was there something that Bella wanted to tell? Or actually, was there something that Shanann wanted to tell her brother before she passed? Was something one? What did Shanann want to tell her brother before she passed? We can hear it going off. You're making the REM pod go off. What does that mean? Did you want to tell him something? Leave. I heard leave. Do you want me to leave here? Was there anything that Bella and Cece wanted to tell Grandma and Grandpa before they passed away? We went into the light. It just said we went into the light. Thank you for telling. Thank you for saying that. Oh, that's awesome. Are they all with Jesus right now? Are you all with Jesus right now? Yeah, Jesus. Yeah, Jesus. Oh, yeah. That's awesome. Amen. 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 Okay. Well, thank you. Thank you for letting us know. Was there anything else that was left unsaid here at this house?
So he does also encounter some darker entities here. Let me go for a little bit.
Please. Okay, we're going to close the session. Man, that was a trip.
Oops. Oh, crap. Kurt, stay on just a second. I got it. Oh, wait. No, I thought that was my computer, like, needing a reboot.
Okay.
Oh, wait.
Yeah.
We're good.
This thing has been going off like crazy. I'm going to pray over this before we go and in this session. In the name of Jesus Christ, I command every demon and every stronghold to get off and get out of every person that's going to listen to this and that is listening right now. I command every attack from the enemy to be broken, every stronghold and principality to be gone in Jesus' name. Any curse, hex, vex, or witchcraft, I command you to be gone right now in the name of Jesus Christ. I plead the blood of Jesus over every person listening to this right now, Lord God, that you would set them free from every scheme from the enemy. God, I pray that you will expose the darkness and that all of it would leave now in Jesus' name. Get out of their body, get out of their home, be gone from their lineage in the name of Jesus Christ. Let every person listening to this right now, Lord, be free in your precious name, in Jesus' name. Amen. Amen.
Thank you, Maxie.
Amen. Yeah.
Yeah.
Take this right.
Yeah.
Kelly, that almost sounded like a battle between
Good and evil.
between like what
Yeah.
Shanann was trying to say and some kind of demon that was there.
That's how I feel about it too. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's how that's interesting. That's how you perceive it. That's how I perceive it too. Totally.
Yeah.
I want to get to this one specific part. They're out at Survey 319 here.
Mm-hmm.
Woo! I don't know how he did this, but okay.
How could we help you? Is there something that Shanann wanted to say before she passed? I'm in the grass. I think it's hit on the grass. Where? Can you tell me? Don't hurt me. It said don't hurt me. No one here is going to hurt you anymore. I know that your soul is with God and with Jesus, but nobody can hurt. And I know that Shanann, Bella, and Cece know that. Was there anything that Shanann wanted to say to her family before she passed?
Sorry, I'm going to go forward a little bit because I know this roughly. It's when they're in the truck that I want you guys to see.
Nico, his life, we're in it. Go off again.
It's going. Yeah, green light.
Who is that?
Farmers.
Farmers?
Well, this is farmland out here.
We're looking for any spirits that know about Shanann, Bella, Cece, and Nico to come forward.
This is old school Kathleen, yes.
Shanann Watts, Bella Watts, Cece Watts. Here. It's going off the temperature. That means there's a fluctuation in the
I watched
temperature.
this live too.
Can you feel that?
It's
It does
awesome,
feel
right?
cold too. Can you feel it?
Yeah.
Man, that's crazy. What spirit is currently here with us?
Damn, it's got a cold chill in my back.
I know. Can you feel it?
Yeah, it's cold.
I told you, man. That's what I was feeling there. It's like seriously like cold in here. Here. Who's here? What spirit is here? Oh my gosh, I'm just freaking just
The chills.
Who's
like
here? Cold. It just said cold too.
Yeah, it crawled down.
We can see you. It said we can see you. Who is we? We can see you. Can you tell us your name, spirit? It's going off the cold. That means it's changing 5 degrees temperature. It's going cold.
Oh, it's really cold.
What spirit is currently here? Can you tell me your name, spirit?
That's right. Thank you for reminding me of that.
What is your name, spirit? Hi. I just said hi. What? I heard a little girl's voice. Did you hear that little girl's voice or no?
Mm-mm.
It's real soft in my ear. Mexi. Did you hear it said Mexi?
Mexi, yeah.
Okay, who just called my name? What spirit just called my name? Can you tell me your name, spirit? Bella. Did you hear it?
That was
Bella.
quick. Bella. Yeah.
Bella. It was saying Bella over there too.
That was quick though.
Legion.
Legion is what it says, not Legion.
Great.
Legion.
Mm-hmm.
Where is she? Where is who? Who are you referring to? Is the thing going off again or no? No. No? Okay. I'm hearing stuff in my head, man. If there's a spirit that's currently here that knows about Shanann, Bella, Cece, or Nico, can you please make that REM pod go off, that little red light? If you go towards it.
Oh,
the girl, what did it say?
100.
It went off? Yes.
When you said it.
Thank you. Thank you for confirming you're here. Here. What is your name, spirit? Please tell us your name. Does it say Bella? I think it said Bella. We'll have to review that. Let's review the footage and make sure.
I agree with those of you, by the way, who are saying that, you know, that Shanann and her children are in heaven, and that, you know, I do feel that a lot of because they say that if there are these evil entities, that they are, you know, a fan of trickery and mockery. So that is kind of like also what I'm hearing here. What do you think, Kurt? I'm going to keep playing this, but what do you think?
I think I do. I agree with you. I think they are.
Yeah.
But we don't know if, you know, God lets you communicate
Sure.
through, you know, with other people, you know, family members, whoever.
Sure.
While, you know, on the other side.
Absolutely.
We don't know.
We don't know.
I've heard all kinds of spirit box. I've watched all kinds of spirit box sessions on YouTube where they were reaching out to Shanann, and I swear it sounds like her voice coming through on those, and I'm like, that's really weird. Now I don't know if that was something that was like the spirit box, they were playing some of her YouTube or Facebook videos, and the thing picked up on, you know, how artificial intelligence can pick up on sounds of voices and all that. But I mean, I just feel like we get signals from beyond. And I do believe in that. I'm a Christian. I believe in the afterlife. And I think God probably lets people reach through. I think when you're dealing with something as tragic as what happened, that he understands that there's a lot of questions about what happened with that, and how somebody so young's life can be taken away like that.
I know.
And I'll give you this, and a lot of people don't agree with me on this because I'm Catholic, and in my faith, we believe in purgatory, and what I think is all these spirits lingering around, and when you can pick up on them, maybe people that are in purgatory. That's just one idea, one thought that maybe I have, that they haven't quite gone to heaven yet, but they're almost there.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
So, and you can communicate with them while they're there. So, I mean, I don't know. And it's a big mystery, but it wouldn't surprise me if ghosts and spirits that are lingering around, even after a tragedy like this, and you can reach out to them, because we know through scientific data that energy, we are made up of total energy. And energy does not die. It changes form, right?
Yes.
So we are energy. And if the concept of purgatory, and I know not everybody believes in that, that's just me, is right, and energy is lingering around, and we are in a different state of existence before we're cleansed enough to go meet the Almighty, you know, creator of the whole universe, then why not be able to do all this, you know, and to explain to people that are really questioning what happened to you, what went on, you know. I mean, we know what happened to you, but where are you now, and how do you feel about it?
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think that's a really great assessment. Yeah, I like how you'll kind of open it up It's all possibilities because the truth is we don't know. Here, wait. I just want to address.
I
one.
I
Oh, go ahead.
totally believe in spiritual realms. I know it could be dimensional. I mean, I don't know. We don't know.
We don't know. That's
It could be
right.
dimensional. It could be um
Beyond our comprehension.
right. That's I'm trying to think of these words.
But
And I
I know
can't
that's
right
what
now
I always. That's
tonight.
what I always
But
come
it's
through.
just
No, yeah.
yeah. I mean, and it's I mean, it's something so huge to fathom.
Mhm.
But I do believe, and I think there's residual energy about whatever happened there at that house. And
I
I
do.
was watching one of your other videos that you did about what happened down in that basement where
Oh yeah.
that dog and all those people. I mean, and they were trying to figure out why the dogs were so
Mhm.
interested in what went on down there. But
Yeah.
anyway, um, that's what I think, and I think that they could be picking up now, and like what we're discussing, demons do like to mess with
They like
folks.
to taunt humans.
Yes, yes, and who knows if this is something that they're just playing with these people here while they're there
Mhm.
investigating, or if it's a. I really felt like that other what we heard a little bit before was like
I felt a battle too, like a
yeah,
struggle, yeah, to come
like
through.
her trying to tell the truth and then them coming in and
Yes.
saying demon and all. I
Uh-huh.
mean, it's just it's really fascinating. It's very
It
fascinating.
is. Here, I just want to pick up a couple of comments. I'm going to keep playing this. Thank you so much, Kurt. I really appreciate all that. It was good
Yeah,
insight.
you're welcome. Yeah, yeah, definitely.
Bob Bitchin, along with some other comments, says there are no demonic forces in that house. Demonic matrimonies would involve the neighboring houses. Demonic forces do not choose specific square footage to take over. Cracking up, laughing face. I don't think anyone is asserting that they take up a certain square footage to take over. I don't think anybody here that is commenting or talking on panel or whatever is that naive. Nobody's
No.
ever said that. I know that you're being a little cynical about what we're watching here, and that's like totally okay. But I just want you to understand that we're not that stupid. And we also don't know like what's going on in houses. Like let's say if 2825 Saratoga Trail was some kind of possessed, for argument's sake, we don't know what's going on in the surrounding houses. We do know that all of the neighbors have vacated the area. Of course, that could just be because
Yes.
murder happened next door or down the street, or it could be for other reasons. Once again, just like Kurt said about something different, we don't know. And I'm not professing to know. I don't think anyone else here is, but I just wanted to be clear that we understand it's not that they are not, relegating themselves to a certain square footage. Okay, I'm going to
Right. I mean, it's a possibility. We're not saying that that's exactly what was going on
right.
there. It's just it's interesting that not only that house but other areas around there, and I mean, you've got to be open-minded about what could be going on there. I mean, just like
Mhm.
the Amityville horror and all that kind of. I mean, you don't
Mhm.
know.
Yeah.
We're just investigating and looking into the possibilities of
Yeah.
what's going on here.
Yes. Thank you, dear. Okay, I'm going to keep playing this for a little bit.
All right.
Can you confirm your name again, please, Spirit? Behind you. Of course. Who's behind us? If there's a spirit behind us, can you please make that REM pod go off again? If you go towards the red light, it will go off. Just like you made it do not too long ago. We'll know you're here. Something in the light? Light. I just said light again. Can you please tell us what happened the morning of August 3rd? What happened to Shanann? Bella? Listen. Hold. Tell us what happened that morning. Can you tell us what happened at the house, at the Watts house? Murder. Did you hear it? It said murder. How? Who murdered? Okay, we know you're here. Thank you for going off. Who's here right now? Here. It just said here. Who's here? What spirit? Tell us your name, spirit. We're looking for the spirits that know about Shanann, Bella, Cece, or Nico. Did you move the car? Okay.
Yeah, I coughed. Like that.
What happened at 2825 Saratoga Trail? Killed. Who killed? Tell us the name of who killed you. Who killed Shanann, Bella, Cece, and Nico? Trapped, listen. There's blood.
Mm-hmm. Heard that.
Can you tell us, I said murderer, can you tell us a name of who murdered them? Can you tell us the name of the person that murdered them? I thought I heard it, but I don't want to say it until I can 100% confirm it like we did at the other place. I heard it for sure at the other place, at the actual survey. Was there anything that you wanted to tell us? What happened the morning that Shanann walked through those doors? Something Watts. I swear to God, I heard Watts. Me. Killed. How was Shanann killed? What happened to her? What happened when Shanann walked through the doors? Can you tell us what happened? Was somebody there waiting for her? It said all kinds of things right there. I heard several things. I swear I heard living room. Who was waiting for Shanann? Can you tell us the name? I think I said Chris again. Was there anybody else involved in the murders? Yes, her. I said yes, her. Who is her? Can you tell us the name? We know you're here. Can you tell us the name? Who else that could have been involved? Something killed me. Who killed you?
Yeah, they are survey
Who
319.
killed you? Said they something us. They something us. If Chris was involved in the murders, is there any way that you can touch that light to let us know? If you can make one of those lights go off, I'll count down in the next 5 seconds to let us know that Chris did murder you. That Chris murdered Shanann, Bella, Cece, and Nico. If you go towards that red light and make a light go off, that means yes. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Here, something. Are you having a hard time going towards that light and touching it? If you could communicate through that light, that would really help us get good, solid answers so that we know how to help.
Guys, they're at survey 319.
What about
Oil
Nikki?
site.
Was she involved? Was Nikki involved? It's going off?
Can you hear it?
I couldn't hear it.
No, it's going off.
Sweet. Thank you. Okay, so are you saying that Nikki was involved? What about Chris? Can you confirm and do the same thing that you just did?
Spirit said Nikki's involved.
Did Chris, I think it just said his name. Did Chris drive out here in that morning? We know nothing.
I heard that.
We want to talk to the spirits that do know about Shanann, Bella, Cece, and Nico. There was somebody who was talking to us while we were over there in the Survey 319 field. Who was speaking with us? Did Shanann, he killed me? You just said he killed me. Who killed? Who killed you? You said he killed me. Who killed you? Chris. It just said Chris. I heard it that time. Chris. Can you tell us the last name of Chris? Yeah. What is Chris's last name? You said Chris killed you. What is Chris's last name? What's that noise? What's that other noise though?
That's beeping. It's going dee 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 on top of the constant beep.
Dad. It just said dad too. Who just said dad? Me. What is your name, me? What is your name, me? What is your name, spirit? Was there anything that Shanann wanted to say to her mother or father before she passed?
Threat.
Threat? Who was a threat? I just said threat.
Threat, yeah.
Who was a threat?
Green.
It's going off back there too. Chris. It just said Chris. Threat and Chris. I heard that. Thank you. Who else? Who else? Chris. Did you hear it again?
Yeah.
Chris. It said Chris real clear that time. Killed him? Killed him. Chris killed him. Chris killed who? Killed who? Drowned? He got the word drown. He got the word drown. Is that what he did? Did he drown? And then now it says coffin. Coffin. Okay, so who are we talking about? You're talking about a coffin and drown. Are you talking about Bella and Cece?
Yeah.
Something, Mom? Died. I died. It just said I died. Who just said I died? Bella. It said Bella. Did you hear it? It whispered it. Bella.
That was creepy.
Oh my gosh, I got the freaking chills, man.
Yeah.
Woo! Okay, I know you keep saying Bella's name, Bella. Bella. Is there something that Bella wanted to say before she passed?
Hug.
Hug.
I heard something, Chris, again.
I think it said hug.
Hug? Chris?
Yeah, this.
No, pout. This one says pout.
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 Then who
Pray.
said hug.
Pout and pray. Chris. Pout. Was there something that Bella wanted to say before she passed? There's a little kid's voice again. I heard it again. Can you see that light? Can you see the red light? If you see the red light, can you touch it? If you touch it, it'll make a noise. And let us know you're here. What was the last thing that Bella saw before she passed? Hi. Thank you for doing that.
You hear it?
Who's here? Tell us your name, please, Spirit.
Come.
Come. It just said come. Why did you say the word come?
What year is it?
I'm here. Who's here? Yes. Something hurt me. I think it said he hurt me. Who hurt you? Can you tell us the last thing that Shanann saw before she passed? The last person she saw before she passed.
Green light.
Thank you. Who was that that's here? Are you currently at peace with God as Shanann, Bella, Cece, and Nico at peace with Jesus? With him. Are you up? Is Shanann, Bella, Cece, and Nico at peace with Jesus? Said all kinds of things. Again, I'll ask one last time. Was there anything that Shanann wanted to say to her family before she passed? Her mother, her father, or her brother? Ronnie? Ronnie? Is that what it said, Ronnie?
I didn't hear Ronnie.
What did it say?
I didn't hear Ronnie.
Okay, again, I'll ask. Was there anything that Shanann wanted to say to her family before she passed? You're making that go off like crazy. Tell us what you wanted to tell them before you passed, before Shanann passed. Was there anything that Dad? It just said Dad. Was there something that Shanann wanted to tell her father? Mom? You are something. I don't know what it said after that. Was there anything that Bella wanted to say to her grandma or grandpa or their uncle before they passed? Keep hearing Ron and Ronnie or something. I don't know Ronnie.
Where's Ronnie?
I don't know how to look. What about Cece? Was there anything that Cece wanted to say before she passed? Okay. We're going to close out this session now. Is there any spirits that wanted to say anything before we close this out? Dad, please, there's something help for me. Dad, please, something help for me. Is there something that they wanted to say to their father? Chris? Yep. What did you want to say to Chris? Asshole? It just said asshole. Did you hear it?
Yes.
It literally just said asshole to Chris. I don't blame them for being mad.
Yeah.
One bit. Me either. Just said me either. Something, Daddy. You killed them, yes.
Temperature.
Killed me. Was there something that Shanann wanted to say to Chris? I bet you that was what Shanann wanted to say. So cold. Just something. Was there something that Shanann wanted to say to Chris? We can't what? Be with. We can't be with something. And then I heard a little girl's voice say, can you talk? Was there anything Bella wanted to say to her father, Chris? Was there anything that Cece wanted to say before she passed?
No.
I think it said, wait, Daddy, not leave. I think that's what that said. Okay, we're going to close out the session. Unless there's anything else you want to say, we'll give you a few seconds. If you can make the REM pod go off, we'll know that you're not done communicating. Is there anything else you wanted to say before we close out the session? Okay, we're closing the session. All right, guys, we'll have to break down the footage and see what we got. Yeah. We're going to leave. This has been a very interesting, to say the least, journey. Our thoughts, our prayers go out for them, for Shanann, for Bella, for Cece, for Nico, for their family. Their family has been through a lot. I can understand why they're upset and angry. I don't know, guys. Thank you for joining us. We appreciate you. We're going to break down this footage and see what we find, I guess. I think we've found quite a bit, though.
Yeah, definitely.
I honestly do think we did. All right, guys. I guess we'll see you guys on the next investigation. Thanks for joining us for.
Okay, so yeah, and I know that Mexi did do a really killer session outside of Watts' home, out in front of the Watts' home. Another time, I didn't want to play that. I think that's like the best one too. I don't want to play that tonight because I know that is like the big Watts one. I want to ask his permission before playing that. I've asked. I didn't talked about this one. I've asked him if I used his stuff before. I don't remember if I did or not, but I want to communicate with him about that. And also, I want you guys to go find it yourself by going over to his channel and checking it out because really, I mean, I just. I already told you, I think he's just first class for what he does. And if you like that kind of stuff, I think you would really like to find his channel. Hey, thanks for becoming a member, Jaded. Jenny, thank you so much. And I think someone else did too, by the way. And Veronica Adams, thanks for becoming a member. Oh, gifted one membership. So nice of you. Thank you, darling. And yeah, so what do you think? What do you think, Kurt, Stacy?
That was pretty intense. I mean, there were moments in that where, I mean, we heard all the language. Bella, Cece. I mean, not what he was asking, but coming back through the spirit box. Shanann, Chris. I mean,
yeah.
I think didn't we even hear Frankie at one time? I mean, there's
Yeah, I think so.
I mean,
And
why?
the spirit said that did say that NK was there.
Yes, I know. That's that. And that's always been a debate that everybody's had about that. And like we've had on your earlier lives where we've talked about the pinging of her phone and all that. I
Mhm.
mean, it's just uh and looking at the video from the neighbor's camera.
Yeah.
Um
And her incessant lies and inability to tell the truth, and the way she
yes.
manipulates the investigator, or the questioners or the babysitters, whatever that Kobach is. I'm sure is
Right.
very much the same way that she manipulated Chris Watts. She knows exactly how to get
Yeah.
what she wants, and she knows what words to use. And it's just she's just such a piece of empanada.
I know you and I both have the same view, and we always have. Um, and the fact that she's in some kind of protection program blows my mind. I think they're
Yeah.
and oh yeah, I just randomly deleted all these, pictures and texts and everything off my phone immediately.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the sort,
No. If
yeah.
if you were involved with this person and you really were that concerned about it and you went to the police, you'd say, look at all this that I've got.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
but that spirit session was really I thought that was pretty intense. Then they were at the Survey site, right? That's
Yes. Yeah. That's
they
where
were
they
picking
were.
up on
Yeah.
that.
The first part we watched, they were at the house.
Right.
That wasn't the most. That wasn't the most active one that he did at the house. And then it later on, they were at the Survey site. Yeah.
Right. Right. Yeah. Pretty intense. Scientifically speaking, I mean, how much do you put faith into those devices that they're using? But the fact that they didn't bring those names up, they were just asking questions, and all those names came through. I mean, you got to say, and where they're sitting at for that too. Who killed? Who was killed here? Who did that? I've always thought. I've and this is just me. I've always thought that I don't think that the girls were killed there. I think that when Shanann arrived back to the house after her
Mhm.
business meeting in Arizona, um, I I think that this is just me. Again, I'm just saying this is me. I've always thought that they were probably already dead, and when she came in the door, that's when all hell broke loose.
Yeah.
He lies, and we know he's a liar.
Absolutely.
I think it was because why would he say this is the last night that I was going to tuck my babies, in
Yeah.
and
He
bed,
did. Yeah.
right? And
Well, he writes a letter in his own handwriting to, well, I talked about this in the video, I think, that you watched about the basement. He writes a letter in his own handwriting to Cheryl and Cato saying that,
right,
he tried to do away with the girls at the house, and then they both woke back up. And, my personal assertion is, and I've always believed this, and I so strongly believe it. And the reason I believe it is singular, but there is, I mean, after I already kind of determined this in my head as being a fact, even though I know it's not a fact, but I'm so convinced in my own mind is what I'm saying. There's all sorts of other things that are indicating this is likely true as well. The singular reason that I determined that that Cece was not alive on the ride to Survey 319 is the way that he talks about Bella. He only mentions Bella speaking. He only talks about Bella and the end of her life with any kind of emotion. And we know that Cece was his favorite child. He said so himself.
yeah,
And he never mentioned Cece talking. He never mentioned Cece in a descriptive way, which is, when people lie, they talk in vagaries. I just made that word up. But when they're telling the truth, they give a certain amount of detail because they're actually recalling and describing it. He never talks about Cece in that way. He only talks about Bella in that way. And it's one of the only times the man has ever shown emotion is far as I know, not only what we've seen, but in his life, according to what everyone in his life has said. So I know, I really believe the way that he talks about Bella and her being present on and alive on the ride from Saratoga Trail, Survey 319, and then her life ending at Survey 319. I personally think that's exactly how it happened. I am convinced that Cece was not, she was not alive or was not conscious on the way to Survey 319.
Right. Right. And here's the other thing that I've always thought. You know how there was, there was the sheet and then the two big trash bags.
Mm-hmm.
What was in those trash bags? He says it was to cover her head and her legs.
Right. Yeah.
I don't believe that.
What do you think it was?
I think each girl was in there. There were two of them.
Yeah.
It's terrible to say that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, considering they had all this evidence that they never processed, unfortunately, we'll never know.
Right. There could have been DNA all over those bags that they could have looked at. And I think the sheet was for Shanann and the two trash bags were. That's why, I mean, I've always thought that it was, he was just, it was premeditated.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
And like we were saying, that house, obviously, I mean, it just, who knows what would drive somebody to do this? I mean, you can stand pressure. You can stand familial pressure. People do it all the time. You don't wipe out your family. And then the second, who knows what would have happened if these people didn't just now, the Millers, right?
Right.
If they didn't get out of that situation.
Yeah, I know.
Like they did. I mean, seriously. I mean, it's who knows? I mean, that's crazy. And like we said earlier, I for one think that after all that horrific stuff happened there, and I think it happened really brutally, and it was probably a terrible situation. That house should have been demolished. They should have maybe made that like a vacant lot as a memorial to the family.
Yeah, yeah.
And I don't know. Nothing seems to happen good in places where something so evil happens, and they keep it there anyways.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know. But again, like I just think the reason is just because it's such, it just is monetary. It would take agreement among two persons and, vested parties and entities to make that happen, unfortunately.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So.
But I don't know. It's sad all the way around.
Yeah, it's terribly sad. It's just, I mean, it's just an absolute tragic story. And again, just want to say that I said this earlier, the purpose of talking about what's been happening with the Miller family is absolutely positively not to talk about them. I really do not want to get into their personal business. Obviously, we have gotten their personal business, which is a matter of public record, and it's well within my rights to do so. However, I don't have any interest in going any further with that than is meaningful to the extent of exploring the Watts case and the house and all of that.
Right. And I didn't even know about them moving out until just like a week ago. I'd heard about it just like last week.
Well, yeah, I mean, it just happened really. It just all happened really quickly.
Yeah. And the fact that there is some domestic abuse and all that going on, that's terrible. Anyway.
All right. Well, I think I am going to call tonight because oh gosh, this was a lot longer than I wanted to be, but it was great. And it was so great to see you, Kurt, Stacey, and thank you so much for coming up. I know people really enjoyed hearing from you, and I am just so delighted to see you. And please send me an email if you're so inclined, because I'd love to chat and just see how you're doing. I have missed you. I've asked for you during live streams a number of times, actually. Like, where the hell is Kurt Stacy? Other people have asked about you too, so we do miss you.
Let me just put it this way: 2023 hit me like a tidal wave, and it sucked.
Oh yeah. Oh wow. Are things
But
looking
I'm
up
doing
for
so
you?
much. I'm doing so much better now, and it's really good. I've been blessed. I'll just tell you right now, real quick.
Okay.
In January of 2023, I was diagnosed with stage 4 prostate cancer.
Oh my God.
Out of nowhere. I didn't even know it.
Wow.
I went for a checkup, and it was like, you got to be kidding me. I had no symptoms,
Wow.
nothing.
Oh my God. That must have been shocking. Oh my God.
It was. And then so 2023 was me going through. I didn't have to do chemotherapy or anything like that. I went through radiation.
Oh.
It had I had a biopsy, and that's how we determined it. And then it was in my prostate, and it went out to the lymph nodes that were just right outside of my prostate, and then it stopped. Thank God.
Oh my God. Thank God. Really? Oh my
Yes.
goodness. Oh
And
my
you'll
God.
never
thank
believe
God.
who I have become friends with because of this, because the same thing happened to him.
Uh-huh.
Mark Tinsley.
Are you kidding? And you love him.
I know.
Oh my God.
We have
I know that about you. You freaking like idolize him.
We have communicated.
That's awesome.
His
Mark
wife
Tinsley,
lives here.
Alabama, everybody. Oh my God.
Yes. His wife lives here in Nashville. He lives
Wow.
in the low country in South Carolina. But I reached out to him because I knew he had mentioned that during the Murdaugh trial, that he too had stage 4 prostate cancer. And I reached out to him, and he responded to me.
Oh wow.
And
That's
he gave me
amazing.
all kinds of good, positive advice, different supplements he was taking to help him get through it, all that kind of stuff. And we are Facebook friends, and we are
cool.
and we are, we message each other now and then. And he comes to Nashville. I have not met him in person yet. I want him to
come on to watch the obsession. That would be amazing. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
No, but yeah, but he took the time to reach out to me. We've talked on the phone. He has really been a great guy to talk about stage 4 prostate cancer, because that's what he had.
Yeah, well, that's amazing. I could see him being that kind of person. I'm so glad you have that support. That's wonderful.
He is. He's wonderful. And every time I've sent a message to him, he always responds, all that. So he told me, like I said, what kind of supplements he did. We talked on the phone. He comes to Nashville. I told him the next time he comes, he's got to stop by my barn, where I work, doing therapeutic horseback riding for folks with disabilities and all that. And we talked about that. His wife lives in Nashville. He lives down in South Carolina, and he comes in.
That's gonna be hard. Or
Why
well, I
not?
guess depending on what relationships are different. So
Yeah. So I'm waiting to meet him in person. But anyway, he is a wonderful man, and he really was an inspiration for me for fighting this. I'm great. I'm in remission.
Oh, that's amazing.
I went through all the radiation. I did all of that. I am in remission. I have to take testosterone suppression medicine until 2025, because that's what prostate cancer feeds off of testosterone.
Okay.
And so I've been on the suppression medicine. Once they take me off of it, they're going to monitor me like a hawk after that. And hopefully, as my testosterone levels go back up, the PSA level, which is what they monitor you with, will stay down at 0, where it's supposed to be. When I went in for my initial, it was just a regular checkup back in January 2023. Everything was great, except my PSA level was off the chart. it was 114
Okay.
when it should have been 0.
Oh wow, yeah, that sounds
Right.
good.
So that was a red flag right away. And they sent me to a urologist, and I walked in. He was like, "What are you doing here?" Because I'm so much younger than most of the men
Yeah.
that this happens to. You know, most men in their 70s get this.
Yeah, you never know.
But now, no, it's happening a lot with a lot younger people. Um, and they took my blood again just to make sure it wasn't a bogus reading, and then it came back high again. I did the biopsy; it came back positive with cancer. I did a PET scan where they went, or a CAT scan where they did my whole body to make sure it wasn't anywhere else in my body. It was in my lymph nodes, right outside of my prostate.
Oh,
They did their
God.
job and they stopped it right there.
Oh my God, that's great.
And
Wow.
we did the targeted radiation. We're so good to have all the interventions that we have nowadays.
Yeah. Oh
And
my God, thank God.
they did all the targeted radiation, and I've got to stay on this testosterone suppression medicine until 2025, and then they'll just watch. The plan is that as my testosterone goes up, my PSA levels will stay 0, and I'll be fine. So,
Well,
but I
we
feel
will
great.
always send a prayer for you that happens, and that that you continue to get better, and that you're in good health. And you're getting so. I
Yeah,
don't think you chat, but
I'm
you're
feeling
getting
great.
so much love in chat right now. So I hope you can feel that.
Oh, thank you. Yes, I do. I see that. Thank you, Auntie Jen. Yeah, yes. Thank you.
No, I
Thank
mean, like,
you,
everybody
everybody.
is chatting about you, like
Thank
they're happy
you.
that you're okay and stuff. Yeah.
Thank you, Jody.
And
I'm seeing all this. Yeah, I feel great. I'm really healthy now. I feel great. Um, and I actually have started a YouTube channel for bringing awareness to cancer.
Oh wow! What's
And
the
I want to do
channel?
it for people to donate to St. Jude's Cancer Research Hospital
That's amazing. What's the name of the channel?
in Memphis. And it's I've only posted like 4 videos on it, and it's at Kurt Stacy.
Okay, cool, awesome. Well, I'm gonna link it on my channel homepage, and that's a great cause. So we will definitely help you we will definitely help you raise money for St. Jude's Children's Hospital.
That's all I want to do. I just want to do that.
Yeah.
I want to raise money.
Awesome.
And I end every video there saying, remember St. Jude, go to the website if you can donate money to it.
Okay.
We can do that so we can find a cure for cancer someday.
All right. Well, I will go and figure it out. Email me if you can, but I will go pick up your links, and I will make a community post, and we can also announce it during live streams. That's a wonderful effort. I love it.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course.
Right.
Yes, I'm so glad. It's wonderful to see you. We absolutely love you. Please email me, and I'm so glad you're doing okay, and you look wonderful, my friend.
I am. I feel great. I am in remission. I feel great.
Yeah.
It was great. I mean, that's what my 2023 was. That's why I didn't come up a lot.
Yeah.
I was just, going through that. I was still working, doing all that, but it was just like,
That's a lot.
But I feel great. I've been blessed, to have a second chance in life, and it's awesome. So
that's wonderful. Well, we love you, and Watts the Obsession is now complete once again because you're back.
Thanks. And I'll come back on more. I promise I will.
Awesome. Oh, it's so great seeing you. You have a great night, and I will talk to you very soon.
Okay, you too, sweetheart.
Right,
I love you.
We love you. All right, bye-bye. Oh, how great is Kurt Stacy? We love Kurt Stacy. I think you guys have been asking about him. I've been asking about him. It's so wonderful to see him back. And yeah, let's see. So Sis Fish just posted that link in chat. I will be, as I just said, I will certainly follow through and connect that to this channel more. So if you do want to give to St. Jude's St. Jude's Hospital of Memphis, that is a wonderful cause. Actually, I can do a channel fundraiser too. I'm going to do that. I got to figure out how to do it though. If anyone knows how to do it, please let me know. But I think it should be easy enough. I will put time into figuring that out. Not a big deal. I'll figure it out. Don't worry. Yeah. So that's amazing. Aw, we love Kurt. That's wonderful. Oh, all right. So, all right. Well, thank you guys so much for being here. Oh, Jody is cool. Uh-oh. I remember this. Thank you so much, moderators. You're amazing. You guys are wonderful. Thank you for everything you do, everything you did, everything you do. And guys, if you email me and I don't get back to you, for some reason I don't read it, and now there's a number of reasons. First of all, you know, everyone's busy. So I hate saying, oh, I'm busy, because we're all busy. And it doesn't mean that you shouldn't be paying attention to everything you need to pay attention to. But guys, my inbox it truly is overwhelming. So I'm always playing around with like the parameters of what goes where to try to like make my inbox a little more manageable. I know I need to do something about it. Some of you made suggestions. I have to like maybe make different email accounts, or I don't know, get a moderator or two to read through the emails, you know, and just like, so we can make sure we get back to everybody and address everything. But please, please, please don't ever feel like it is you personally. I know somebody earlier said they had sent me something and they seemed pretty put off that pretty damn put off that I didn't respond. I didn't read it. I guess sounded like it was information about the stuff with the Millers. I certainly would have appreciate everything you guys send me, but I just it's too much for me right now. So I'm really trying to do my best. And Patsy, I will definitely get your emails tomorrow. Thank you for letting me know that you sent them. And please do email me if you have something to say. And I will do my best to get back to you. And I'm going to try to do better. I'm always trying to do better. I'm not perfect. I'm sorry. So, yeah. Yeah, everyone have a good night. All right, guys. So you know the deal. Yes, I will definitely get your emails. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you for understanding. Oh, and please do hit the thumbs up on the way out. I really appreciate it. Appreciate you guys. Sis Fish reminds everybody. Excuse me, but Kurt is ours, lady, ours. So we're sharing Kurt. So there's no like infighting among us. Okay, can we all agree on that? We are sharing Kurt. But he is officially Watts the Obsession property. No, I'm just kidding. We love you, Kurt. Oh, thank you guys. You're wonderful. So lock your windows, lock your doors, be safe, and remember, life is hard. But some people handle it gracefully, like Kurt did with that experience. My gosh, you did it was just so brave and amazing of you, Kurt. And maybe someday you'll impart all the wisdom you learned above and beyond connecting with Mark Tinsley. I remember when we were doing the Murdoch case, he just loved Mark Tinsley. So that's so freaking cool. I love it. You deserve it. So please be nice to each other. And most of all, guys, be good to yourself, because I know you deserve it. And yeah, love you guys. And I will see you more. Yes. Merch, honey bun, get with me. I stuff from. Oh, wow. Okay, cool. I definitely have to get with you then. Okay, so Honey Bun and Patsy, I'm definitely emailing you tomorrow. I just put it in my little phone planner here. Is there anyone else who has urgent email business outstanding that I need to attend to? Speak now. I'm putting it in my planner. It means it's going to happen. Okay, biggest donor wins. Oh, God. Yeah, Jody called Kurt a long time ago. It's true. Oh gosh, so funny. Yeah, no, he's a great guy. We love him. Oh, thanks, Ashley. All right, everyone, have a great night, and I'll see you Friday night live stream. Friday night. See you then. Take care, guys.